Working the first caution of the day came out of lap 8 when Brian Weber spun out of turn 4, and then a wreck ensued here at turn 2. Now here's turn 4. Weber going around and into the barrier at the head end of pit road. Here's what happened up at turn 2.
Looked like Amy almost was going to run into the car in front of him. He checked up, and the 27 car, McMurray, got into the back of him and turned him up into the fence.
One behind you.
Now you're riding with Alexander.
Slow down. Come on, keep going. Come on.
What happened to him is his engine died.
Right. It's after getting into the back of Mike Harmon there.
He comes sliding up there to a stop and killed the engine and had to refire it.
Matt?
Well, Mike, earlier this week at the 60-team shop, one of the people in the office opened up a letter and out popped a flat Stanley. It originated from Tyler Ford, Lincoln Elementary in Illinois. It's bebopped around the country and ended up at the 60 shop. So for good luck, they decided to put it on the dash of Greg Biffle's Ford. The only problem is, if he wins today, they might want to take it to Texas with him for good luck as well.
Flat Stanley. Okay.
This like a chain letter thing?
Am I the only one that don't know what that is?
No, I'll raise my hand too.
It must be some sort of project.
Yeah.
School project, I would assume.
We'll get letters.
I'm sure next week we'll have flat Stanleys on our forehead, probably.
We're going to have one to go at the line here.
Put in a 4th headset for flat Stanley. 1 to go. Jeff Green leading Jason Keller, who both passed Scott Riggs at lap 5. Jimmy Spencer 4th. There's Lyndon Amick's damaged car.
Wave
off the restart. It'll be another lap or so before we go back to green.
I know about Arthur and DW, but I don't know about flat Stanley.
Back under green with Jeff Green out front. Jason Keller, Scott Riggs, Jimmy Spencer, Stacy Compton, the top 5. Boy, Stacy Compton has really turned around that 59 team in the Busch Series. He's had great runs all season.
He's been good every week. Qualifying good, racing good.
Right now, Michael Waltrip, the 9.
Whoa, good straightaway.
Points leader.
And it's Keller, and now it's Michael Waltrip, and it's Compton, and it's
Johnny
the
Sauter.
2-car. And
me.
where did it all begin? The 63.
With lap traffic.
I don't know that...
That's you're riding with Michael straight into the garage.
I tell you what, I wish we hadn't said anything about Stacy Compton. Because he is killed.
Now,
Michael killed him.
Yep. Look at that car. That car's flatter than Stanley.
Yeah. Stacy took a pretty good shot in the left rear there.
I know I'll hear about this when I get home, but Flat Stanley is a children's book character. There's a series of books about Stanley, and people take them and mail them all, write stories about mailing them all over the country and all over the world. Well, here's what happened. There's the lap car 63 on the inside. Jeff Green makes it past. Here comes Keller. Oh, right up in front of the leader.
Yeah.
And when you're lap traffic here, it just you can't get out of the way fast enough. They're coming up on you so fast. It's a shame.
Boy, Michael just really laid it into Stacy there. 2-car went around. We didn't need that.
Riding along with Johnny Sauter. Underneath Ashton Lewis.
Clear.
Mind his own business here.
One on the front. Got one on the front. Oh, hang on. We're still all right. Whoa. Come on. Get off the brake.
He slid right through there.
Yeah, would you hear his spotter? Let him. You know, he's telling him how to drive.
That's Mike Dillon, Richard Childress' son-in-law.
That explains it.
That's it. Used to drive the 59 car.
At least he didn't say, oh, no, that time.
Michael Waltrip.
Get up here. Back her down.
Whoops. And Michael did, and Sauter couldn't get to the brake quick enough.
And I can't tell you, that's what happens to you. You see the wreck. You slow down, but the guy behind you pile drives you like that right there.
See the wreck, be the wreck.
In the wreck.
This is what you're talking about, Darrell, about having to drive behind your own
guy
car.
behind you. You got to know that the guy behind you is. You got to have room between you and the guy behind you, so this doesn't happen. Pretty hard to do early in the race when you're single file like this, but that's the whole situation.
Jason Keller has gone to the garage. He was the point leader. He was the second place car, and a lap car jumped up in front of him and effectively took him out. Stacy Compton was running 5th. He's had a great season going. Now he is behind there on pit road as well. Steve?
And like Johnny Sauter, the big problem they have is they're afraid there's sheet metal rubbing the tires. So Ricky Byers' crew making sure there are no rubs on that number 2 car. Let's go to Matt.
And Steve, they've taken the 57 car of Jason Keller behind the wall. They've gotten the radiator. They were hoping it was just cosmetic damage on the right front, but they've gotten the radiator. They've pulled it behind the wall. Tough break for the point leader. We've seen that so many times here at Bristol. Dale Jarrett in the past, Jeff Gordon in the past. This can be a tough place.
Trying to fix Michael Waltrip's car. Kevin LePage from the first caution flag is behind the wall. They're trying to make repairs to his car. Meanwhile, the 63 of Ken Alexander, who started all this, comes back on the racetrack. Be right back. That hot damaged radiator's out of Jason Keller's car. As the point leader, they've got to get him back in. Scott Riggs' crew helping as well. But they're going to restart this race without him and without Stacy Compton, who is behind the wall. Compton came in here well up as well, 11th in the points. Now it's Green, Riggs, Spencer, Wallace, and McLaughlin. Bent trailing arm on the left rear of Stacy Compton's car, going to put him behind the wall for some time, making that repair.
You know, it's early in the race. You want to try to fix the car as good as you can, but just remember, they're going around here at about 16 seconds. It just takes a lot of laps to change anything.
But if you can get your car repaired and get back out there, I'm sure there's going to be others that will be torn up as well, and some of them worse than his. It just seems to go that way here. Sometimes you have a race here and it's just kind of clean and green, and other times it's just one caution right after another.
Well, we got a battle here for 4th. That's Mike McLaughlin in the 18 car all over the back of Kenny Wallace in the 48. I talked to Mike this morning. He was very pleased with his car at happy hour yesterday.
Got Kevin Harvick right with him.
And Kenny Wallace is not. Kenny knows this is a 250 lap race. If these guys get to pressuring him too much, you watch what he does.
He knows how to finish this thing. Top 5 finishes in both races last year here at Bristol.
When people start hounding you and beating on your back bumper here, you got to let them. You got to get them out behind you.
Kevin Harvick, of course, his teammate Johnny Sauter, and the 2 asked Johnny this morning. I said, "Is this the car that Kevin won with here in August?" He said, "Oh no, Kevin has that car. That's his little baby."
Leaders again begin to negotiate lap traffic.
I mean, that just shows you how quick you get around this racetrack. You start lapping cars 3 to 4 laps after a restart.
Working on Michael Waltrip's car behind the wall. Steve?
Yeah, they're trying to assess the damage. Mike crew chief Bobby Kennedy, they're going to have to cut a lot of sheet metal away off the right front corner of this number 99 car for Michael Waltrip. The Sawzall is in use now. They're going to cut away the sheet metal. They're trying to ascertain whether or not they have any rubbing going on. But at the very least, they're going to lose a lot of laps here on behind pit road.
Waltrip, Stacy Compton caught up in an accident not of their making when a lap car got in front of Jason Keller.
And cutting sheet metal away at Bristol is not a bad thing. I used to tell my guys in the meeting before the race, if we get in trouble, we have to cut metal away. You cut as much away as you can. We don't want it to cause us another problem.
Jimmy Spencer had closed right up on Scott Riggs. Now Riggs has a little bit of breathing room.
He was happy with his car yesterday in happy hour. In fact, he quit happy hour early, which is sometimes not a bad thing either here at Bristol.
Yeah, Riggs' car seems to have settled down now, and he's starting to look a little better through the turns. He was real loose to start with. Could have been low air pressure.
Product of low air pressure, yeah. I'm sure, because you gain so much air pressure here over a long run, the car will get like a basketball bouncing up and down.
Wow, now that was close. The lap car of Mike Harmon was high, Ken Alexander was low, and these drivers had to snake their way between the 2 of them. And that allowed for a little bit of bumper tag. 3 wide there in turn 2. Just wasn't enough room for Casey Mears to go up on the outside of the lap car.
I just can't see how that 63 car can stay out there.
Well,
Okay, line out there.
Yeah, I mean, they're running around here so fast, there's just no way for Ken Alexander to get out of the way. And I think you finally reach a point, you're so slow, you just need to get off the racetrack.
Yeah, you pick up debris on your tires, and you can never get going again. You can't get back in that rhythm that we're always talking about.
Right there.
Mike Harmon has brought his car to pit road.
And the problem that you face here all the time is the constant pressure of the leader is coming.
Trouble turn 2. Around goes Casey Kane, and what happened, Darrell, he got his left tires down on the flat, and then bounced up and into harm's way. Caution's out.
Speedway.
Third one today.
I tell you, we're on record pace here for cautions. Now, you'd say, why didn't Spencer go on by, which he could have, but you always have a gentleman's agreement that when the caution comes out, you hold your position. I know he'd like to have passed him, but that would not be fair.
What are we doing on left front? That front smoked a little bit.
Smoke out of Ron Hornaday's car. What happened there?
Well, I don't know. I don't see anything rubbing. It looks like it's coming out from under the rear end there.
Ricky Hendrick, his shoulder on the mend. So Hornaday doing relief duty there. The 5 car. There it goes.
The 98 car, he had trouble in practice and wrecked his car, and I think that's a backup car, isn't it, Larry?
I think they actually tried to fix the other car. Yeah, they did fix it.
Oh, he's all the way down on the apron. The 98 is. Slides back up on the racetrack in order to keep out of the 16 car there. He just spins it around.
It's Chad Chafin in the 16 car. Just can't get too far down on that asphalt apron because it's definitely a different degree of banking than the actual racing surface.
You get one to handle down there, you got a pretty good handle on it.
It's a tight radius.
That's right.
2 of our point leaders remain behind the wall, Jason Keller and Stacy Compton, along with Michael Waltrip and Kevin LePage. We are under caution for the 3rd time early in the going here at Bristol.
Welcome back on FX Sunday, March 31st. FX presents an original movie, Big Shot, Confessions of a Campus Bookie, based on the true story of the college basketball point-shooting scandal that shocked the entire country. That's Sunday, March 31st, 8 Eastern and Pacific on FX. Back in the Hollywood Hotel, Ryan Newman with Jeff Hammond as you see the position of the race cars. Already 3 cautions. We have a car out of the race, 2 different leaders, and this is the caution capital of the world.
It's Bristol, guys. I'm telling you right now, whenever they get into this kind of a push and shoving quick racetrack, lap traffic's already been a problem. This is just the MO of Bristol, not right?
Yeah, you look at somebody like Johnny Sauter, who's got a pretty decent race car, but he got shuffled there in the back, was involved in one of those incidents, and just before that last yell there, he was in jeopardy of going a lap down. And you can have a good race car, but track position is so important.
And you can see the mark on the wall already. 7 former Bristol Busch Series winners competing today. 11 drivers in their first Bristol Busch Series race. Right now, let's go down to Matt Yoakum trackside.
Well, Chris, Scott Ricks climbed up to 2nd from 3rd. How is your race car now, Harold?
It's just a little free in right now. Right now we're just trying to wait for some green flag laps so we can get kind of settled into our space and see what our balance is going to be like. Everything's okay. Just people get impatient here in a hurry, you know.
Now, you ran down to the 1 pit to deliver a message. What was the message?
Well, we turned in on Jimmy just a little bit there, and I wanted him to know we didn't do it on purpose. Things just happen so fast here. You don't want nobody getting impatient with you this early in the race. The more you communicate with people, better off you are, and we're just trying to keep ourselves out of trouble.
The wrong smoke signals here at Bristol can lead to disaster. Chris?
All right, Jason Keller, of course, the points leader by a dozen over Greg Biffle. Running into the back of Ken Alexander, Stacy Compton, a number of others involved. That is Bristol Racing. We'll be back here live on FX to continue in just a moment. FX welcomes you back to the NASCAR Busch Series in Bristol, Tennessee, and you see the crew cleaning up after our 3rd caution already. Still under caution, Jeff Green leading and looking for his first Bristol win ever. Took the lead on lap 6. We'll be back with more of the action from Bristol in a moment.